It's FoosTalk Live.
You talking to me?
Compelling and lively banter.
Are you going to talk to us?
Talking foosball.
Foosball was how I measured my value as a man. You took that away.
Players and fans, promoters and pros. Unedited and raw.
Talk.
Living in the moment.
We have a lot of important things to talk about.
All while practicing social distancing.
Cool. We'll talk. No big whoop.
Let's get this thing started. FoosTalk Live. Coming to you live from the studios of Inside Foos. It's the 97th episode of 98th episode of FoosTalk Live, brought to you by Inside Food. Foos offering monthly subscriptions with access to some of the most exciting matches ever recorded, plus live tournaments, pre- and post-show analysis, interviews, and original programming. Sign up now at InsideFoos.com. Also brought to you by ProtectoFlex, the world's premier foosball safety accessory. Go to protecto-flex.com. Brought to you by Rod Lock. Practice more, reach less. The best practice tool in foosball. Visit rod-lock.com. Brought to you by 518 Prints, one of the best printers of promotional items and foosball apparel. Visit 518prints.com. Also brought to you by Foosballers, the movie. This Joe Hesslinger foosball documentary is now available as a worldwide download at foosballersthemovie.com. Also brought to you by the USTSO, helping to usher in a new era of competitive foosball. Become a member at usafoosball.com. And yes, brought to you by Foosball Clubs USA, promoting foosball through school systems all over the United States. Visit foosballclubsusa.com and donate today. Well, hey there, it's Tom Robinson. It's episode 98 of FoosTalk Live. And as you may or may not know, things have been rather busy when it comes to competitions this weekend, especially for the folks at InsideFoos.com. Jim Stevens and crew have been hanging out at Pompano Beach, Florida, where things have been rather intense with the Thunderdome competition. We'll be hearing all about that in just a bit. We also, this same weekend in South Dakota, Flandreau, South Dakota at River Royal Casino, a big tournament there, $10,000 South Dakota State Championships. And we're going to give you some coverage on that as well. So why don't we get that underway? Thanks for tuning into episode 98 of FoosTalk Live. As you already know, professional foosball competition for the 2022 season is well underway. This weekend, the $10,000 South Dakota State Championship at Royal River Casino in Flandreau, South Dakota is winding down, and we have the latest results to share with you. And a little later on, we'll give you the lowdown on what is happening with the Thunderdome Limited No Pro Foosball Tournament in Pompano Beach, Florida, with a live report from Inside Foos, Jim Stevens, Adam Gilson, and Mark Torres. Let's get caught up with all the results thus far in South Dakota. Beginning with the ladies' events, Deborah Flipson dominated the pack and took first place in women's singles, pushing aside Maya Balkos. Both ladies are from Minnesota. Deborah also took first place in women's doubles with her partner Karma Burfield of Wisconsin. They dashed the hopes of beginner players Tammy Anderson and Tanya Burninghouse, both of South Dakota. Elsewhere in beginner singles at South Dakota, Jeff Junk of Iowa beat back all the competition, including the second-place finisher Leon Carnegie, also of Iowa. The beginner doubles matchup put Minnesota on the map with Ron Vandell and his partner Travis Nelson in first place as they defeated Jesse Frost and Dustin Banghart, both from South Dakota, for the win. Looking in on rookie singles, New Hampshire native Jamie Lindis crushed the hopes of Eric Balkos of Minnesota for the top spot. When it comes to rookie doubles, Adam and Mike Winter made South Dakota proud as they took first place. Just out of reach, John Everett of South Dakota and Richard Robichaud of New Hampshire had to settle for second place. Here's what happened in the expert singles events. Nathan Olson of Minnesota and Bill Winchester of Wisconsin left their mark with a first-place finish over South Dakota players Terry Ward and Todd Schultz. It was two familiar names in the finals of open singles, with Costa Rican flamethrower Kevin Romero taking down Justin Shaw of Oregon in the finals. Elsewhere in goalie wars, Justin Shaw did take first place, defeating Gary Dennis of Kansas. As of airtime, we are preparing for the finals of mixed doubles, amateur doubles, expert singles, pro singles and doubles, and the finals of open doubles at the $10,000 South Dakota State Championships. With all this competition still to come, you can catch all the action live on InsideFoos.com by becoming a subscriber. Yes, lots of action happening this weekend, to say the least, when it comes to foosball championships and tournaments all over the place. One in South Dakota just there, and of course in Florida at Pompano Beach. And we'll be going live to Pompano Beach in just a few seconds with Adam Gilson to give us the latest update. But first, I thought perhaps you'd like to hear this.
We're here with Evan Mcgregor, the 2022 Thunderdome champion. Evan, you already knew that you had won the championship entering that final match, or entering the last couple of matches, yet you still were motivated to win singles. Is it because you really kind of wanted to cement your position as the champion, or is it just kind of you're playing every ball? This is what you do. You play every ball competitively. I got to ask you, what are you feeling right now?
So right now, I'm feeling great because it's over. I can go to sleep. I don't have to take any caffeine and stay up till 3 a.m. With that match, I was talking to Tony before, and I was already satisfied because I'd won. I was already happy. And then he's like, well, you still got singles to finish. It's not over. And he's like, $600. And I was like, $600, I'll take it, right? And so the last match, I was very, me and Tommy both were just like free flowing. Like it was competitive, but it was also just fun. And I think that's because I was just feeling like just flowing. And so we were doing a lot of crazy stuff. And the way it ended is just like how I'd end something. I don't know.
Sure. Now, and it's obvious you're gifted, all right? You're a gifted guy. You have natural ability. You're an athlete on the table, so to speak. I was talking to your mom a little earlier on, and what she said to me is incredibly important. And that's that anything you turn your attention to, whatever that might be, whether it's guitar, whether it's running, whether it's whatever sport you choose to undertake, you work hard at it. You're a hard worker. Not only are you gifted with natural ability, but somehow you're not falling back on that. You're also working hard. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, my dad used to race bikes professionally, so like my original background is sports, just in general. And he also played foosball. He got me on that too.
Live from Pompano Beach, Jim Stevens with the winner of the Thunderdome Limited non-pro event this last weekend in Pompano Beach. This was quite an event, of course. Evan Mcgregor, the big winner of that one, and for a very young guy, walking away with quite a lot of, shall we say, winnings. And right now, let's go live. We've got Adam Gilson on the line. Adam, are you with us? Or can you give us some more updates as to what happened in Thunderdome?
I'm here, Tom. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great. So you're still conscious. I'm amazed.
No, I am too. And let's just backtrack a little bit and say winnings. Winnings. What we're really talking about is thousands and thousands of dollars. Like the last I heard, it was about $7,400, $7,300.
For Evan?
For what Evan won. Yeah. No, it's amazing. And I don't know when the dust settles, how much it is. And honestly, I don't think he cares. He's 16. Like money maybe isn't really like 16. He's here for the competition, right?
Wow, 16. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, so now just give us a quick background as to how this all boils down, obviously, to the final match. I know that he was playing Tommy Brewer for singles in the very last televised match on Inside Foos. However, it was already over by that time. How do we know that? How did that work out?
It was. So it's a points race, and it's accumulated over the course of 4 different events. There's a bring, there's a draw, and a designated draw.
Okay.
And each one, yeah, and you accumulated points based on how you place in those, because there's a qualifier, because we're using the monster system and the Swiss system, and then there's a knockout. So the top usually I think 8 to 16 teams, depending on how it played out, and I don't know like the specifics at this point. But the point is that as you're winning those, you accumulate points overall for the overall Thunderdome points race. So yeah, so as it boiled down to it, was that he ended up kind of being the presumptive winner 2 rounds into the finals, because statistically anybody else, once Chris Carson lost, the other major competitor, they mathematically they just didn't have any other choice. They're chance.
Understood.
Yeah.
Now, I know that the names like Mike Green and Rick Eno and Scott Sweeting and Scott Ramsey, all these names are being thrown about as possible, winners. But a 16-year-old Evan McGregor pulls it out. I mean, was that surprising to anyone, or was that something you guys expected?
I'm going to say it wasn't shocking.
Okay.
I'll say that much. Like, he was a favorite going in, even though he's new. But everything and he's only been playing for about a year and a half. But he has shown the ability, and more so than that, the format favored him.
Right.
The especially the designated draw. Like I think there was only there's 64 players, right? And the designated the lowest ranked player plays front. And I think there was only 7 or 8 players beneath him that were lower ranked. So the numbers for him, if he did well in the bring, which he did, if he did well in the bring, then as long as he does well in everything else, especially when he's favored to do well, especially in the designated, he's going to be favored to win it overall.
Right.
And he did, but he, of course, he still had to win.
Yeah.
He still had to play every single ball as it was, and and he did. It was just amazing. It was utterly amazing. And that's no slight to anybody else who was playing this weekend, because this was, and we should talk about this as a larger piece, Tom. Like, from the second the first match started, I think it was 2:30 ish local time Friday.
Okay.
It was everybody playing, and then there was a little bit of a break for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then everybody playing. And then they're back to a break, and then they're playing again, and it was just nonstop foosball. Like,
wow.
Tom, we worked tournaments before,
Yes.
and we've had time in between matches and things, but this was nonstop, and and I know we'll have we'll talk about this next Sunday,
Right.
but
right,
I mean,
right.
it was just, once we actually have a chance to digest it and really think about it. But I mean, it was just nonstop.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
Yeah, no, it's unheard of to do this kind of format. Of course, at this level, we've got 64 players that show up, all non-pros, but nonetheless, with some pedigree, and I just think it's astounding that so many known commodities can show up. And
they did.
Not to mention people like Liz Hill Moore. I mean, here's a Hall of Famer, and yet this young 16-year-old. is triumphant in the end. That is spectacular.
It is, and that is the story. That is the story. But the story right next to that is when you talk about Liz Hillmore, Chris Fuchs. You talk about all the great players that were there, the veteran players that were there that have been playing for quite some time, and the way the format shakes out is that, especially in the draws, is that these players get to play with the younger players and impart their experience.
Right.
And that's even more unheard of. That style, what's actually happening there is something that is just conducive to foosball going forward, because your enemy becomes your friend, and then you have to raise them up. And I think that is just absolutely, utterly phenomenal as far as the format is concerned.
Now, what was the ratio of Florida players to people from out of state? Do you know?
I'm going to say, I can't give you the hard number, but I'm going to say it was at least half, maybe a little bit beneath.
Okay.
But still pretty impressive, because, we would rate, I would think you would rate a major or at least a regional by how many, states off you get people coming for it.
Right.
But this had, I think the number was at least 15 or 16 states and 1 province out of Canada. So yeah, it was, this was widespread. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, that's
for only 64 players.
Right. I know there's a lot of gnashing of teeth and envy for those who live in Florida who are able to drive to this tournament and actually participate. And of course, now this envy is going to spread. I have a feeling. I know that the noise here in the Northeast is deafening. We'd love to see
do it up there, right?
Thunderdome here in this area, because, well, of course, we'd like to be able to drive to our tournament too. But but no, I think this kind of a format. Now, just give me a clue here. Have you had a chance to chat with any of the players? What was the overall impression? How did they feel about the tournament?
Oh yeah, so one of the big things that we got to do, Brad Loreen from Rod Lock FoosTalk.com did a great job doing production for me and for Jim, walking around just talking to people. We did a bunch of interviews, especially today, to get some feedback from players from everywhere. Bob Arnett from the Oregon. We had a lot of local players. Rich Cotter, of course, one of the big characters
Right.
out of Chicago, I think, is where he's from. Yeah,
Nice.
and even more than that, I apologize because I can't remember everybody right now because it's been just like a whirlwind. But there's been a lot, and all of those went live on the Inside Foos and Inside Foos TV Facebook page, and the feedback has been positive, overwhelmingly positive.
Okay.
This has been just something that has been good all the way around. It's been a good investment, if anything else, because you're playing a lot of foosball,
Right.
A lot of foosball.
And it's, 3 days, but at the same time, when you're going to start, when you're going to finish, you have a break in between. You can do other things like, I don't know, sleep.
Well, let's talk
in the
about
meantime.
that. Let's talk about that because I remember. So Friday night, Friday is when it started, right, in earnest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it started a little bit late. It started a little bit later on 2:30, and everybody was freaking out. Myself included, because I was like, "Oh my gosh, we're going to start it late. Everything's going to get backed up and whatnot." But it's absolutely not the case. No, it didn't get backed up because of the format itself and the time and the care that Luke Watson, Tommy Brewer, Mark Torres put into this.
Yes.
The producers of this event, and so we were done by what. 8:30.
Yep, 8:30
on a Sunday night.
Yep, Eastern time.
And it was a hard stop at 11 p.m. on Friday night, and it was done. And everybody was like, what are we doing? What's going on? And I was like, well, I guess we have to go hang out or chat or do something, right?
You mean like socialize?
And then, yeah, and usually that's not that great, except for the fact that matches didn't start till 3 the next day,
right.
3 p.m. And I was like, ridiculous. It was ridiculous, Tom. So yeah, no, this is it was I've experienced something like this before in the Warrior tournaments in Southern California, Brendan Flaherty's Warrior tournaments, which have been eye-opening, but this, to see it executed and done so effectively with so much fun and so much money and so much experience for everybody involved has been nothing short of an inflection point to me in foosball.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's. I know the predictions were maybe overstated at first as to what the impact was going to be of this kind of a format, this kind of a tournament. Do you think that we were overstating it?
I think so. I don't think so, and I don't think. I think that the only problem is, if there's a problem at all, is that this was 64 players, and the player base in the United States is huge, And I need to underscore this because this is not a knock to any of the promoters out there. All the great promoters out there, Mary Moore, Steve Murray, Ben Kempner, Don Caesar, everybody that's out there promoting is out there, busting their ass for foosball and for the people that they care about.
Right.
And this is not a knock on them. It's more just like kind of just showing a little bit of something else of what there could be, And I think that it's going to be interesting when these players go to other tournaments and experience something more that they're used to, and they're going to be, I don't know. I'm not saying that's a negative at all, but I'm just saying, it's going to provide some contrast, and it'll be interesting.
Well, here's the thing that I think is striking is you can custom tailor this to specific groups. So today, of course, was non-pro. So you had all non-pros, experts and below. All competing. 64 players, 32 teams. Could you expand it to, let's say, 80 players if you wanted to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you could. I don't know the numbers. I'm not a math guy, but I do know that it's based entirely on the amount of tables you can get.
Okay.
When you're doing that, and I think it's multiples of 2 or 4 or what have you.
Okay.
But whatever. Regardless, though, it is definitely doable because I know what they do in Europe when they're playing those. They have quite a few players up there, and they plan for it. It's just a matter of having the tables available. Right,
exactly. No, it's obviously with the majors that happen all year long, they can pre-plan pretty much for the number of people who show up. Take Texas State's this last year. What was it? I was 75 tables, I think, that were in the 2 ballrooms there.
Yeah. No, there was quite a lot.
Yeah,
there was at least 500 players.
Right, 500 players, right? And kudos to Steve Steve Murray for putting on such a fantastically well-run tournament that all worked all beautifully. But I can also see this world now making room for this kind of a custom-tailored Thunderdome format. Swiss system with limited events, but a lot more playing for those who are participating.
Yeah, no, I would agree. And I think, it can be custom tailored. It can be, especially because when you think about the player base, because obviously when you look at the numbers, half of the players at this one were local, right?
Right.
So if your area can feed half, I don't know the numbers as they shake out, especially when that gets more refined and there's more money in it, et cetera, et cetera. But I think if there's more of a demand for it specifically, you could definitely tailor this to your player base, and I think that'd be great because, like me personally, I would love to see the next generation of this be the pro expert version.
Right.
Because I think the player base exists and it'd be fun. And then it evolves into the pro master version, which we've seen before in the Ironman in San Jose.
Oh yeah, and then
2004.
I would expect that to be the case because, of course, that'll draw a great deal of attention when you've got that concentration of pro level and above players. I mean, that will be astounding. Especially
and to that point, real quick, and Tom, I don't mean to interrupt you, but like that was something that we talked about. Like this was going to be primarily experts and below this weekend, but the level of play was ridiculous.
Right.
It was amazing. Like the matches were close. There was no sloppy doppy stuff. It was just like it was serious, good, hard quality play. It was like it was amazing. There were still mistakes. There were still the things that you would kind of expect to see, kind of at that level. Balls getting out of your zone, blah blah blah. But that's really not the point. The point is this was showing that level of play in the United States has really evolved.
So, okay, let me ask you the point blank question then. Did those players play their heart out this weekend?
Yes. Everybody there put their heart on the table.
Nice.
And let it beat. And that's why when I first heard about this back in early December, like I was one of the first people to buy a ticket in the room because I was like, I got to be there for this no matter what.
Right.
And they did. And it was like, I can't explain to you what it was like that Friday when the matches first started. And everybody here, let's be real. Everybody here knows what it's like at a foosball tournament.
Oh yeah.
Matches get called, matches are done, and everybody's out in the front, maybe having a cigarette, having a sip of their beverage, or maybe they're out in the lounge.
Yeah, just kind of chilling. Yep.
That happened once from the first match. In between the second match, people filed out there. People filed in the lobby, did whatever they did, and then by the time it was the third round, everybody realized, "Oh my goodness,
I can't do that.
This is real. This is different. No, let's go."
I can't do that.
And it wasn't even that.
Yeah,
but it wasn't even that. And it wasn't like they were being forced to go play. They wanted to go play. This is what they wanted. This is what they've been wanting.
Right.
To go and just be playing and playing and playing. And I'll tell you, and Tom, we've sat in the booth together.
Oh yeah.
And we've had breaks in between matches. Like this was utterly exhausting for me. And I think maybe Jim will talk to this next week if he doesn't hop on tonight. Was that like it was nonstop, even though it was like a 9-hour block here and an 8-hour block there. It was nonstop foosball. There was no getting up for us either. It was amazing.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So you've got to have, somebody needs to use the restroom. There needs to be fill-in. But yeah, other than that, wow, that's intense.
Yeah, it was. It really, really, utterly was intense. And one of the coolest things that I experienced, especially today, and I don't know why it was like this, but today, like there was dozens and dozens of people just walking by off the street that just popped in and just to watch.
No kidding.
Just to see the spectacle. It was amazing.
Very cool. Well, I can see this becoming much more of a spectator sport as we go forward because of the intensity and, of course, the wild play, of course, continuous play like this. And this is no wonder with the European format, or the Europeans have been doing this for a while. Their spectators are really into it. And
yeah, they are.
They sell tickets for their events. So let's see this happen here. Let's push towards that and on this end of things as well. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Absolutely. Oh, every single finger that I have is crossed. Everything's crossed. I'm totally excited about it.
Right.
It's going to be amazing.
Well, I have to say that there is one of our listeners here at FoosTalk Live, Jacob Flowers, has mentioned that his favorite match of the weekend was Stevens versus Man Bun. Would you know who that might be?
Yeah, that's Mr. Man Bun.
Mr. Man Bun.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and you know what? That was hard fought. It honestly, it's funny that Mr. Flowers said that, because it's funny, because that was today. And after that match, which was just, it was me and Jim. Jim and I were just playing a pickup game, right? And Mark called it, right? But after that, we went up and sat in the booth waiting for the next match. And I looked at Jim and I was like, I'm done. And he goes, I know. And then it was like, I don't understand. Like, total props and respect to everybody that was playing this weekend, because this is southern Florida.
Yep.
It is warm and it is humid and it is disgusting for me. I'm a SoCal boy, so this is. I'm not used to this at all, and I don't know how these guys are playing in this kind of weather. All the guys and gals that are playing in this weather, and we had to go get a Red Bull. I haven't drank a Red Bull in years.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
What was the score, by the way? Tell us who won that match between Man Bun and Stevens.
I crushed him in convincing fashion.
Oh,
10-9.
You did? Did you now?
Yeah, I won.
And
he was doing this thing where he's flailing his hands around, accusing me of jarring, but he never actually said I was jarring. So let that be a lesson to you all out there. Until somebody calls you on it, it's legal.
Now the winner has to be polite to the other, the loser. Is that or the winner? Is it the other way around? The loser has to be polite to the winner. Is that what the situation is?
There's no politeness. No, doesn't matter. No.
Any trash talking going on this weekend?
That's a really good question. And no, like there was friendly jiving, and everything that you would kind of expect, but there was no trash talking at all like that. There was no serious, there was a couple refs called. There was jarring, blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. But there was nothing that constituted anything that I was like, oh, okay, this somebody's getting really upset.
Okay,
it shouldn't be there.
All right,
yeah,
all right. So everybody kept their cool.
Yeah,
all good sportsman-like conduct there. By the way, it was great to hear Tony Sprademan sitting in and giving some commentary. He's really got a talent for this.
Yeah, no, he's on another level. Yeah, it's really amazing. Obviously, you can't play and perform and have the past that he has,
right,
and not know what you're talking about. But my goodness,
yeah.
Especially, and I think there's a is anybody out there that that are watching or listening, there's a parallel there between what Evan is doing now and what Tony once was, and in fact, I think that Evan is who he is now because of who Tourney is now.
Yes,
if that makes sense.
Right. No,
he had to grow from it. It was something huge like that, and that's how we stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yep.
And it was fun to just kind of see Tourney looking at him like almost like a like a surrogate, like, oh, okay, yeah,
like a dad.
This is exactly yeah, absolutely,
yeah. No, it's I love Tony's analysis too, the way he can take a look at the way somebody's playing and kind of pull apart the behavior of the player and say, well, this is something that's probably going through his mind right about now, or this is something that maybe they need to work on to improve. I mean, I love that aspect of his commentary. It really makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, it does. It's really, really good. I mean, and when Tony talks, we listen.
Yeah, yeah. So, who else in the booth this weekend stood out for you? Anybody?
We had, we had a few. We had Liz Hill, of course. One of the great players, the lady players of all time. Every time she's in the booth, it's just so much fun. But one of the people that I was really excited showed up was Grant Nelson, who we had on the show.
Right. Yes.
The Pro Master. The Phenom. He was a Phenom back in the '90s. Then he quit in the early 2000s. But he showed up to just kind of experience it and listen in. He was great in the booth, but he was also just really fun to talk to, and he was super helpful and supportive all the way around.
Nice.
So, Grant Nelson, buddy, thank you so much for just being there. Yeah. And he also brought a game called Pino or Pina or something like that, where you flick a marble. And I recorded some of that on the Facebook the page, and I just
this is
Jim just crushed me.
Well, like a handheld game of some kind. I mean, what are we saying here? Is it you say it's played with a marble?
Yeah, it's with a marble. Let me see. Let me see it. It's on there. I'm gonna look it up. So the way it's set up, it looks like a billiards table thing,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And there's pins on either side in front of either goal, and you flick a little marble to try to get through, and you score points getting into the other player's goal.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But anyways, of course, Tony and Jim were immediately good at it because they could understand that you have to look at the way the field is shifted and all this blah 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 blah. Anyways, they're good. I suck. Whatever. Let's move on. Take control, Tom.
Bring this show back on the rails here. What's going on? Yeah, so, if you've just tuned into FoosTalk Live, we're talking with Adam Gilson, who is coming to us live from Pompano Beach, Florida. You suck. And it's good to hear that you are surviving the weekend nicely. Anything you'd like to say about the product there at 26 Degrees Brewery, where this tournament was being held?
Oh my goodness, yeah, all of their. So I had their A1A, their regular IPA, and I also had their hazy, which I don't know what it was called, and I also had something that was, I guess, what Tommy Brewer called the PBR
PBR?
beer.
Oh yeah, yeah, Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah, and it was their 2.6, and I think that was fine and dandy. Like I had a bit of that, but there's for me in this kind of weather, it's hard to drink a lot of beer.
Right.
Right. It's humid, blah blah blah. But the flavor was amazing. Like it was good. So, yeah, no, Tom, we were really missing you this weekend.
No,
it would have been just a lot of fun.
Likewise, missing you guys as well.
Yeah.
Although I have to say, spent some time last evening in South Dakota doing some play-by-play with Jeff Scarchilli, another one of our 518 players. And
nice.
Yeah, we had some fun. We got a chance to commentate several matches, and you know what? It seemed like some pretty intense competition going on there as well.
Sure.
On the other side of the country. So yeah, there's plenty to go around here, folks, when it comes to competition and of course the action that we covered with InsideFoos.com. Incidentally, if you haven't done so already, if you haven't investigated Inside Foos and checked out the matches that are up there, those that have been played in the past and those that will be, as a subscriber, you get all kinds of content. It's Adam, I have to say, very often we get together, people's houses locally to play foosball. And one of the things has become kind of a tradition now, especially one of the guys, he's got the Inside Foos subscription. And so when we're playing, we're at his house, we're playing, for several hours in the background, Inside Foos matches are playing those recorded, videos. And
I love that.
It's the atmosphere, right? It's what we want. And of course we get a chance to, when we're in between games, stop and watch, these older matches, but really is a great, I wouldn't call it wallpaper. It's just it's a great thing to have in your foos room for sure.
Yeah, no, it is. No, that's phenomenal. Yeah, and it's funny. I'm just thinking about that, having foosball being so prevalent in so many people's lives right now, especially the ones that came this weekend. But Ethan Wynn, somebody that we had on the show, one of the people we previewed, he didn't do as well as I know he wanted to, maybe expected to.
Okay.
But it's interesting talking to him and his mindset about it. It was all a learning experience.
Right.
Once things like that, nothing tanked for him. It was still like in the middle ground as far as the experience on the whole.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really fascinating. Because me personally, like if I trained and prepped for something and I just didn't do as well as I thought that I should have, I would have been inside of my head and fallen off the pier or something, right? But even these younger players, they're just kind of taking it in stride, and I think that's just phenomenal.
Oh yeah, no, you have to take every loss as an education, right? So it has
Yeah.
to help you with that next step, because if you don't lose, how are you going to learn how to win?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
These are things that I can tell you, because at the age of 63, I'm still learning a lot.
You're 63? Oh my goodness.
Shh. Don't.
No.
Yeah, don't tell anybody. No, it's
the younger you are, the younger I am. So I think you're 43.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I think mentally I'm probably 20, maybe.
All right.
If that.
We're all on board.
Right.
Yeah, no, I like
so
that.
So
I'm okay with that.
Give me an idea now. What was the order? Now, of course, we know about Evan and his incredible victory this weekend. What were the let's say the top 5 finishers there? Do you have a list?
Yeah, let me. I knew you were about to ask me that. Now pull it up because I know it was Evan, and I know it was Chris Carson.
Chris Carson, right?
Yeah, Chris Carson was someone that I think that was really much on the radar, and he played well. But it's just one of those things. Things happen, right?
Oh yeah.
And I'm just I want to. I don't want to just quote off the top of my head because I know it was him. I know. I don't. Here's one that and he's a super fan of FoosTalk Live is Mike Green, and he ended up I think getting third.
Okay.
And he did well because his first 2 events that he played in, the Bring Your Partner and the Draw, he won.
Wow, great job,
so that
Mike.
put him up.
Yeah, that's
that
awesome.
Put him up there. I don't see the list being fully posted yet, so I don't want to actually start saying the numbers or people beyond that. But no, those 3 are the first 3 to come to mind. I know Tommy Brewer ended up being a little bit higher than it was expected after before singles, but he did well in singles.
Now,
and you saw him in the singles final.
Right, I did, and he's got some exceptional skills. Really excellent rollover. Really enjoys, and his 5 rows is pretty killer as well.
It is, yeah.
I had never really had a chance to see Tommy compete, and of course, in this last match, I mean, they were just going all out. They were just really good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so and I think there's going to be we're gonna really look at it. I think for next weekend and just kind of get a sense of where everybody was, what they did, and how they did it, because I think that that's really key to an event like this is that there's so much is going on. Like if you go to a tournament and you're playing, say, expert doubles, and you lose, it's really easy to look at why, right?
Yes.
You're playing in doubles and, maybe your forward game, your front game, whatever, but a tournament like this challenges every single component of your game. And in hindsight is the best way to look at it, because in the moment it's just like, what happened? There's so many things going on in a span of 3 days that it's really hard to kind of comprehend, what wasn't working. Like, it was working for the people that did well, they were passing, shooting, scoring, right? But, where do you go from there for the other ones, the other 50 players, 55 players or stuff? So it's an interesting thing to behold.
Yeah, and as an entity, as a working model, would you say this is something that could be imitated easily?
This, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, it can. Yeah. It's just a matter of having the courage to do it, because this is not the standard model right now.
This is not for the faint of heart, in other words.
No, I wouldn't even say this is for the faint of heart. I mean, I think that unless something oddly weird happens in the next day or so, this has been a resounding success in my mind.
Right.
And,
Understood.
Being here on the ground. So if anybody else wants to do this, copy it, they just need to know that it's utterly doable. And I think that you're doing something, I don't know the numbers. I don't know how it works. Looking at like a Big Ten tournament, like Hall of Fame or something like that. I don't know. I'm not saying that. But like if you're looking at kind of doing something different that favors a good group, like 64 players or something, I would reach out to Mark Torres, I'd reach out to Tommy Brewer or Luke Watson and be like, hey, I want to do something like this.
Right.
What do I do?
Right. Yeah, it's now that it's finally been shall we say burned in, and we have an idea as to what the results look like. Now we can say, okay, if this is something that sounds interesting to you, and you want to promote in your area, let's do it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yep, absolutely.
Now, are they writing the manual as we speak?
I don't know about that, but I know something's being written. It has to be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because this definitely felt different. This felt very different.
Nice. Well, that's great to hear. Now, in being there as history is being made in the annals of foosball competition. Yeah, really cool. But
yeah, absolutely.
So in the near future here, we have other things happening, and I just wanted to run down a couple of things to see how you feel about these. I know that this one of the biggest events coming up next is March 4th through the 6th. It's the Arnold Sports Festival.
It's a $4,500 foosball championship at Columbus Convention Center. That's in Columbus, Ohio, by the way. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger is associated with that.
That's amazing.
And
that is utterly amazing.
Yeah, I understand that he shows up. I guess the last time it happened was pre-COVID, because of course now COVID is no longer a factor as much.
Yep. It's all gone.
Maybe he'll be back again this year.
Yeah, that'd be really amazing.
And I guess 30,000 athletes show up for that particular event.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
What can you even say about that? That's just amazing.
I know, and it's something that's been going on for some time. So 30,000 athletes in one place. How do you find a hotel room? That's the other problem. But you could always sleep in your car to play foosball.
Right.
We'll do that too.
As many have.
Oh yeah, we will do that. By the way, so don't even tempt us.
Right.
How about the other thing coming up, Moneyball, Northwest Foosball Tournament? That's March 17th through the 20th at the Crowne Plaza Hotel in Portland, Oregon. Is that how it's pronounced? Oregon, not Oregon.
Oregon, yeah. Tom, and I'm particularly excited about that because I'm going to be running that.
You are?
It's going to be me. So
nice.
I'm still working out how I, going to be doing everything we do. Like I'm not doing the technical side. We have just amazing people that are way smarter than me. I don't know. I can't give the details yet. I don't know who's committed yet to it, but
okay.
I know Don Cesar, Kobe Cam are doing a great job setting that up. And I know that Danielo is one of the people there that are going to be in charge of the tech. I don't know. I've talked to Jason Wicks a little bit about this weekend of Bearded Wonder fame, but I don't know that part. But yeah, no, I'm going to be doing the play-by-play and getting other people in there with me. So
fantastic!
It should be a lot of fun.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, whoever else is there. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Could you do me a solid and fly me out?
I can get you a GoFundMe going.
Yeah, right. I knew I could count on you, man. I
know. I've got an internet account, so I can get something going.
No, it's Moneyball sounds like. I mean, it's been around for a while, and of course, it's always a good time.
No, it's always
a good time.
That's my adopted foosball family.
Right.
I grew up here in Southern California, but my roots are in the Pacific Northwest. So
yeah. No, it's one of those bucket list towns I've always wanted to go to, and one of these days I'll make it out to Moneyball as well.
Yeah. Portland's a lot of fun.
And following that, you've got the Battle in the Mountains, the $10,000 foosball tournament. That's March 25th through the 27th. That one at the Crowne Plaza Hotel and Resort, Asheville, North Carolina. What are your expectations about the Battle in the Mountains? I
have no idea, because all I know is that's the most amazing sounding tournament ever.
Yeah,
I love
it.
Yeah, no, that is just epic. So I don't know. I have no idea, actually. It's something that I have no idea. I don't know.
Well, we'll have to wait. Yeah, hopefully we'll wait and see. And maybe if there's any kind of feedback there, we can certainly find out. Maybe get some videos from the scene. Then, of course, we have to talk about the Foosball Hall of Fame Classic, which is coming up April 6th through the 10th. That at the Golden Nugget in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, my goodness, Tom. And Tom, I hope, if you missed Moneyball but end up at Hall of Fame, you've got to... There hasn't been a Hall of Fame in about 3 years now.
Yes, right.
I mean, this is one of those big tent events that I was talking to you about earlier. Like this is it. I mean, it's Vegas. It's right there on Fremont Street. It's hard to explain. You really can't quantify it. You just have to show up.
Okay.
Miramore runs a great tournament there. It's a lot of fun, and you pay respect to the players that have come before that have made an impact. I think the class that is getting inducted is from 2020.
Really?
Right?
Okay, I gotcha.
Because it got canceled. So you got
that's true.
Inside Foos is Chris Fuchs, and there's one or two others that I can't quite remember off the top of my head. But it's gonna be as my dad would say, a hoot and a half.
Right. And of course, Jim Stevens, our own Jim Stevens, that's on the board of the Hall of Fame. And
yes, he does.
Yes, and of course, he should be probably involved with that event. I would say, more than likely.
Yeah. You would hope. Yep. Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah.
And coming down the pike here very soon, the $10,000 Florida State Championships. That's April 18th through May 1st at the Holiday Inn in that's Clearwater, Florida, which is across the state from where you are right now. I understand.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And what a job Rob Cadle has done for that. Like,
Yes.
I've known Rob for a very long time, like, because he was promoting in Southern California in the early 2000s when I first started coming up. And he did a lot of great stuff locally. I don't remember when it was he left and went back to Florida, or if he started from Florida. But yeah, no, that he's a great foosball player, great foosball guy, and just doing a great job out there promoting one of the best player bases in the United States.
Right, and I have to take we have to take some credit because the 518 is Rob's original home. He was he was a resident of Albany, New York before he ended up in Florida, and he's been a participant in our smash downs, and of course he's played our DYPs as well. But he's an exceptional player, no question about it.
That's fantastic.
But good guy. Now, if we're going to look out a bit, we have other. I mean, this is just getting started. This is not even close to the entire list of things happening this year. We're still waiting on some of the bigger tournaments like Texas States, and going to see what's happening, of course, with Tornado Championships. But I've heard that the first annual Ozark Open is happening this summer, August 15th, which is planned for Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Ozark Open. Gotta wonder what that's going to be like.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I have no idea.
Right.
I have no idea how that's going to be.
Yeah, we're doing some research about some of these tournaments that are out there, and just looking for some interesting things to include. And of course, each week now we've been doing this tournament beat. We try to keep our finger on the pulse of things happening when it comes to tournaments, because things are really heating up again and people are getting out and really playing a lot. And you know what? I got to tell you this. It's kind of a personal anecdote. The last 2 weeks now of our local DYP has been jamming. I mean, we've had, 6, 7, 8 teams sometimes. It's been really amazing. We've had quite a few people showing up all of a sudden. Whether it's because they've had cabin fever and they just got to get out. But all of a sudden it seems to be a boost in the interest, where we were down to like 4 or 5 players at one point. Now it's coming back. So
that's really good.
Who knows what's happening?
Right. I don't know. Feels like there's something in the water though, Tom.
Yeah.
I feel like there is.
Something in the water. I like that. Can we use that?
Yes.
I think
Quote me on that.
I think there's a song by Pokey Lafarge called "Something in the Water." Yeah. That's where I heard that before.
Yeah. Okay, Pokey Lafarge.
Yeah. So Adam, what? Pray tell, would you have done differently when it comes to the Thunderdome? Anything?
Yeah. Well, me personally, as a commentator, this has been exhausting, because I was not, and I knew it was going to be like this, but I didn't prep for it. It was nonstop foosball and commentating, and I didn't, and I didn't prep for the weather, the hot humidity. Like,
Right.
I'm sorry everybody out there that might maybe laugh at me for this, but I'm from Southern California, so it's generally 65 to 72 degrees, and I'm just not used to it. And
Yes.
it might sound interesting, or no, it might sound weird, but trying to be analytical and interesting and talking to people nonstop for an entire weekend, like, I don't think anybody is really geared for that, let alone me. So to be doing all that, if I were to prep for that, it'd be different. I would have taken a little bit more alone time. And I think there's a parallel between that and actually playing foosball, because some of the best tournaments I ever had in the early 2000s was when I just took more alone time. It just was like, okay, I need to go read books or whatever, not like sit there and enjoy a beverage or two, like I did Friday night with Brad Loreen and Jerry Todd and CJ Cannon.
Nice.
Which was a lot of fun until it got to be about 3 a.m, and you're thinking, wow.
Three. Oh, okay. Here I was thinking you were going to take advantage of being, having plenty of sleep.
Well, yeah, but you take advantage of the fact that you don't have to be there until 3 p.m.
The next day.
But still, we're only human, Tom.
Right. I know. It's a foosball tournament after all. It really is.
Right.
So we have to we'll give you props for that. And forgive me if I have no sympathy for your
I know you don't.
resistance of the heat.
What do you care?
I mean, I'm only living in a place where it's below zero, like 90% of the time, but that's okay. Not a problem.
And I don't even comprehend that. It makes sense.
No, it's so funny. Last night, my wife and I here in Saratoga Springs, we decided to go out to a movie. It was
Wow.
about 2:30 in the afternoon. Just figured we'd take one in, and I was so glad I wore my long underwear because it was a 10-degree wind chill when we went outside. So, and we walked several blocks to the theater.
Don't you have a TV in your house?
Well, yeah.
Why would you go somewhere?
Yeah. Oh, come on.
That sounds like
we've been stuck indoors, man. I mean, this is COVID.
All right.
You ever heard of
That's
COVID?
fair.
It's
That's fair. That's fair.
Wow.
I'm sorry. All right.
But 10-degree wind chill, and I had to walk several blocks to get to the theater, and it was like, we're living here. Why again? What we okay, never mind.
Right.
No.
Well, you know what? You got to come to sunny Ventura. We might run out of water in the next 10 years, but the weather's nice.
Well, if you need that, we got plenty of water here. Let me tell you. It's
I know. Yeah. That's always the
no
conflict.
issues. It's
right.
Well, I got to say, I greatly appreciate you taking some time out to hang out on FoosTalk Live tonight and really bring us up to speed as to what's happening with Thunderdome, man. It just sounds like amazing.
It was something else, Tom. And again, and I said this to you after Worlds, because it was the first Worlds I've been to, at least on the journalistic side, in over 15 years, 16 years. Like, it took me a while to really digest that. The same with Bardo. The same with everything, right? Like,
yes,
I need to just sit with everything that just happened, because this was it was a huge tournament. It was different. There was the money, but there was also the experience. There was something different. There was something else. It was something new, and trying to quantify that or talk about that tonight. I think you got a bit of it. I think I've been able to kind of explain it. But I mean, if this can be a model going forward of how we treat ourselves as foosball players, then
so be it.
Damn.
Yeah, so be it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now we're excited in so many ways, and we're just hoping that with this model now that's finally been tested, and relatively speaking, it went off without a hitch. Would you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There was. Oh my gosh, I didn't even talk about this. Like, we had some players from New York that, and oh gosh, I'm going to say that I don't remember exactly the exact names. But their flight got canceled because there was a bunch of players from New York. Their flights got canceled because of the storms, and some of them invested a couple grand just to take 4 different connections just to get there in time, and they showed up like literally 40 minutes after the start time on Friday, and they still made it.
They still made it, yeah.
And then there was some other people that were coming from as far away as Jacksonville, which is only a 4-hour drive. Keith Glenn, you could hear me.
Right.
They were behind schedule because these things happen. Like, traveling is one of those things.
Yeah. No, it's that time of the year, especially. You just don't know what storms are going to pop up, and they seem to come out of nowhere a lot these days. But travel plans are in these days not even weather necessarily. It could be just the crew decided not to show up, or they don't have enough people to run the flight. Who knows? I mean, there's all kinds of things that can cause major cancellations. So getting there, that's more than half the battle.
But I wouldn't say there was any huge hiccups, or there was not anything that they didn't have some plans for. And Mark did a really good job, as much as that was a bitter taste in my mouth.
A bitter
did
taste.
Great, and Luke did okay, and of course, because he's amazing. And Tommy did great because he has that hat talking into his brain all the time. So it was great. Yeah,
I heard the cracks about the hat during the final match between Tommy Brewer and Evan McGregor, and you went down and interviewed the hat.
Yeah. And I hope the
Brewer.
hat that should echo into eternity, because his hat is heinous. I don't even understand why that's legal. Like, that's a hazmat situation. But anyways, God bless him.
Yeah, no, it's his personality. Right. That's
I guess
that's his psyche on his head. But
weird. If your psyche is crusty and frayed and oily and it's on your head, you might need to seek help. Love you, Tommy.
Yeah, we do love Tommy Brewer. He's great. And congratulations to all the winners at Thunderdome. I mean, of course, Evan. 16 years of age and walking away with how much again? Just give me one more time. What was the figure?
I don't know. The last time I heard it was 7,400, but it's going to be more because of the It's going to be more because of the Calcutta, and it was a lot.
By the way, what is he ranked? He's because he's got what? Is he under an expert?
Oh yeah, he's got to be, and I think he probably ended up getting a bunch of package deals. But let me see here. since I
Yeah,
have
no,
this up.
it's because it is. I mean, obviously, it's non-pro.
He's an amateur.
He's an
So
amateur.
he's got 1,900 in
Wow,
doubles and 1,100
no
in
kidding.
singles.
No,
Right.
I
So
know in the interview with Jim after the match, I mean, Jim asked him, he said, well, my dad and I do stuff together all the time. And I'm just, when I get into something, I get into it. You
right.
think?
Yeah.
Think? Wow. Yeah. Great player. Great player.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And, and we've said this, we've talked about it, like the sky's the limit. And we can't really talk, or we don't have time to talk about it in broadcasts live on the Inside Foos broadcast.
Sure.
But, so much of it is like, what's in between your ears, where does he want to go? Like, because he can do anything. He can do anything. So why would you, what does he want to do? Like win a world title by 17 or 18? And then what? That's it, I don't know. It's just absolutely amazing to me.
It's up to him and whether or not he discovers women or other aspects of life that maybe haven't kicked in yet. Who knows?
Or sushi.
Now I understand that Evan is also a great guitarist. He's a blues guitarist. Is that correct?
Oh gosh, yeah. No, he's amazing. Tony Spredeman said this, and he said that Evan is what did he say? He plays like the 60-year-old black man.
Really?
Yeah, he's not wrong. I mean, he plays the blues like nobody's business. It's really amazing.
Jeez. So
he has the scope and the ability, and it's just a matter of where's he going to go with it.
Right.
Where does he? How about let me rephrase? Where does he want to go with it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Where does he want to go with it? And it's up to him.
So we'll see.
Yeah. So we're talking about, these amazing personalities coming up. We've got Evan, obviously, Chris Carson, who played his heart out this weekend. Think about now, of course, the younger generation with Sammy DeJohn, 13. He's not even 14 yet, and he's pro. Won pro doubles at in Kentucky with Sullivan Rue. I mean, come on, this is the new generation, man. This is exciting. Things are popping.
Yeah, no, it is, and that's why I want to see the next variant of this. I want to see the pro master version of this, or the pro expert or whatever. I want to see because we have them. They're all lined up.
Yeah, right.
What can they do? Is
there any talk at all about what the next version of Thunderdome might, or when it might occur? Would it be this year? Would it be next year? Would anybody have an idea?
I can't speak to that, but I can tell you that it's definitely in the works.
Oh, nice. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, but I don't know. Couldn't tell you when or where, but it's definitely in the works.
Right. Well, as long as I get free admission to the tournament and I can get a hotel room for free, I'll be there.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Ditto.
No,
I'm on board.
Yeah, looking forward to much more of this. And now, are you sticking around till tomorrow? Is that when your flight leaves?
Yeah. My flight leaves in the morning.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and I'm excited because no, I'm not excited at all. I flew into Miami because it was cheaper, but Fort Lauderdale is a lot closer to Pompano Beach. But taking the freeway down south back towards Miami, you get the nice views of all the skylines and everything.
Oh man,
Fort Lauderdale and I think Hollywood, or I don't know what.
Yeah, there's a lot of pretty large hotels right there in Pompano Beach, right, oceanside. So if you can get a hotel room looking at the ocean view next time for a Thunderdome, that would be the way to go, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good place if you can get it for sure.
Right,
yeah.
Right. Wow. Very cool. Well, I got to say, Adam, I really appreciate you taking the time to, because I know you're on vacation now, but taking the time out to jump in. I know Jim and Mark probably much too busy to be with us tonight. You can pass along my condolences to them for missing out, but stuff happens.
I will.
Right?
Yeah. Well, Mark is he was basically a semi-promoter here, like helping the organization.
Oh,
so
sure.
He's been last time I saw him, as I was huffing over to get back to my room so I could get on the show, he was handing out money, making sure that everybody knew what was going on. And Jim, of course, you can't keep Jim down. He was doing teardown and stuff.
Oh, of course, yeah. He's the one man band, of course, but no, it's.
But I mean, I have to say this though. I do a special shout out to Jason Wicks of Beard and Wonder. Like,
yes,
he was there doing just an amazing job. Ashley Citra, our regular producer, couldn't make it, so Jason showed up, did a really good job. Really happy about that. Kristen Grogan, of course, was doing the tournament directing.
Cool.
always doing a great job there.
She's
So
great.
it was, Luke Watson and Tommy Brew, of course. But the whole 26 Degree Brewery and their staff was very hospitable. Did a really great job there too.
That's a big
And the
place.
food trucks that were there.
I was looking at the setup for the tables. That's a large place.
Yeah, it was a lot. Oh, and I of course, I don't know. Valley Dynamo, I know, was a supporter as well.
Yeah,
A
sponsor.
as
Yeah.
well. So it was. I don't know, but it felt like a team effort, and it felt like a team effort in support of the players, and it was just a lot of fun. It was just great. It was great, Tom. It was
Dude,
great.
yeah, that is amazing. Yeah, it's can't wait to the next event like that. But in the meantime, we've got lots more tournaments to look forward to, lots more coming for InsideFoos.com, and of course, right here on Foos Talk Live, we'll keep you up to date as best we can. But Adam, safe travels to you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. Yeah, I'm hopping on my flight tomorrow at 1:50 local time, and
Nice.
going to be landing in LAX at 4:30 in the afternoon. And I hate myself for getting that ticket at that time because that means I'm going to have to be dealing with rush hour in LA, which means I'm not going to get home until probably Thursday.
Yeah, right. Just for sitting on the highway, right? It's
yeah. So it goes.
Well, there's always a sacrifice for living in paradise, my friend. So
I guess.
Yeah. Well, again, thanks so much for taking the time, and man, looking forward to catching you next Sunday. Are you going to be back with us on Foos Talk Live?
I'll be back. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I got over. I mean, you could still I don't know if you can hear it. Like all weekend, I was still had congestion and whatnot from that cold that I had last weekend.
Right. No.
I'm hoping that'll all be cleared up. But no, we have to have a discussion.
Oh yeah, no, I thought perhaps the Thunderdome and of course all the accoutrements of 26 degrees would give you the cure when it comes to the common cold. Absolutely,
you would hope.
Yeah,
you would hope. So We'll see how tomorrow goes.
Right. Well, a great job this weekend, and thank you so much for joining us. For and filling us in on the details of Thunderdome, and congratulations to Evan Mcgregor. Man, he just killed it this weekend, huh?
He did.
Wow.
He did.
Very cool. Well, it is another edition of Foos Talk Live. This is the 98th edition. By the way, the 100th edition is coming up not too long from now. What, 2 weeks? Adam, got any plans for the 100?
I don't know. What are we doing?
I don't know.
We got to be doing something.
We got to figure something out, man.
Right now, stat. We got to start thinking about it. I have no idea. That's amazing. Like that transcends foosball kind. What are we going to do? 100
episodes, yeah. So, well, let's. If you're listening to Foos Talk Live and you got any ideas as to what you'd like to hear for the 100th episode, we're open to your ideas. But looking forward to it nonetheless. We'll do something special, no doubt.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Adam, we'll catch you next week. And thank you for tuning into Foos Talk Live, the episode 98. We'll be back together again with you with Jim Stevens, Mark Torres, Adam Gilson, and myself, Tom Robinson. Thanks for tuning in. Foos Talk Live is a product of Inside Foos. All rights reserved. Brought to you in part by InsideFoos.com, Protectoflex, Rod Lock, 518 Prince, Foosballers the Movie, the USTSO, and Foosball Clubs USA. Tune in again next week for another episode of Foos Talk Live. In the meantime,
we'll see you foozin'.